Clash going down this weekend, guys. Clash of Champions going down this weekend. We're going to be in the bubble. We're going to be in the bubble. So I'm looking forward to getting out of here and getting to Florida and making the magic happen and seeing exactly how that whole thing play out, man. A whole lot of people right now is, excited. Wrestling is excited. It's got a lot of excitement, a buzz again, especially because of the wars. The wars totally gives it I don't know what it is, that punch, I guess. That because everybody want to see who's going to win, right?
Right.
But the thing is, I say it's at the end of the day, the fans win because they're going to get a whole lot of great action. More importantly than anything, they're going to get some great content more than anything. And just to second that, reality of wrestling is back, in action as well. So we got some stuff in the can. We did some stuff last night that we're going to be putting out here real soon. And guys, trust me, you're not going to want to miss out. You're not going to get shut out on watching some reality of wrestling. If you haven't downloaded the YouTube app, guys, be a part of the row and let's get to our destination. And that is to be the best, little small company here, in Texas City. But we work real hard for our artists. But back to the Clash. Are you excited, man? Are you excited about the Clash?
You know what? I am excited because not only is it, the old school Night of Champions where all the titles are on the line. I always enjoy that. But when you look at the matches on paper, you have all the potential of having incredible night of action from the pre-show all the way into the main event. I mean, we're going to open up with Asuka versus Zelina Vega. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of Zelina Vega inside the squared circle, but when we have, I've been impressed by her. She definitely has a presence. She's good on the mic. She's a good character. And in there was somebody who can work. And I mean, has her working boots on every night like Asuka. I think that could really set the tone and set the bar for the night.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can. No, it can set the tone. I don't think it's going to set the bar. The bar is going to be very, very high on that night because, like you say, it is the Night of Champions. Every title will be defended inside the square circle. I always love those nights, especially when I was coming up. But Asuka is
the belt.
Yeah, but Asuka has proven that she is. She's an extraordinary talent. She is special. I mean, you could tell someone when they're seasoned, when they get in the ring and perform. I was just talking about one of my guys just last night, Abel Andrew Jackson made a return. And I say, man, if Abel knew what he know now 15 years ago, he would have been a big star in WWE or anywhere in the world. And that's what I see when I watch Asuka. She can go out and perform. If you work with her, she can perform with anyone in the business. Now, Zelina Vega, there again, we don't know a whole lot about her. But like you say, the little that we've seen has been somewhat impressive. But I see a quote here, Booker, I dig the beer. Hey, man, I didn't get a chance to wash it today right now. It just calmed out. I hadn't put any of the fragrances or the juices in it or anything like that. But trust me, come Sunday, it's going to look like it's sweating, baby. It's going to be looking real good. Trust me, man, on that. But I appreciate it. But back to the match. I'm like, what, man? I'm looking for it.
Wedding?
Because it's going to have to shine in the gloss, man. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's going to have to shine in the gloss all over it, man. So definitely, man, check me out on Sunday after kickoff, man. Looking forward to there again.
All right, let me ask you this, though. So we have another match on here, U.S. title, Bobby Lashley, Apollo Crews. We've seen these guys a lot over the last couple months. And I don't know. I love the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business is one of the best things going on Monday Night Raw, maybe in all of WWE. I don't know. I think I'm a little bit over the Apollo Crews.
I'm not.
You're not? I want to see something else. Let's move on. I feel like I've seen this match a million times.
No, we can't move on.
Why?
Yeah, because we got to beat some sense into this man. That's why. And until he realize and jump on board, we're going to keep beating on him. We're going to keep beating on him. We're going to beat some sense into this man. And that's what I think the Hurt Business is all about. They're going to beat some sense into him. Anybody else that's not on the fence, Ricochet, they're going to beat some sense into him. before it's over with, the Hurt Business is going to be, a faction that's going to perhaps go down in the history of the business. I think, because especially if you get a guy in there like Ricochet, who can really be honed and molded into something very, very special. This guy, I'm gonna tell you right now. Back in the day, we're talking about Ricochet, but back in the day when I used to dance, I was probably probably about 18, 19, about 18, 19 at this time. And we had this little kid came in, his name was Lonnie Brown. And Lonnie Brown, man, a cute little kid, man. He had dimples. All the girls loved him. But no, I'm serious. But this little kid could go. I mean, he was literally better than all of us. His everything about this kid was special. And I only would, wonder what Lonnie Brown turned out to be. And then if he had someone to mold him, what would he have turned out to be? Because he was extraordinary. And that's what Ricochet is. Ricochet is a talent that, really is so well above, the things that he really, it's kind of hard to know how to put, man.
Right.
The guy he's so well past, a lot of the roster. He's so far advanced as far as being able to go out there and do certain things that the roster. I was watching on YouTube just the other day where somebody asked him, some question, I could do anything better than you can. And Ricochet was in the middle of the ring. He jumped over the top rope and landed, boom, like one of the superheroes, and then stood up and walked to the guy and go, "Oh yeah." And I go, "Wow." It was amazing. I had never seen anything like that before. So to be able to get a guy like Ricochet in the Hurt Business and put some stank on him, you know what I mean? I think he's a brother. And if not, we can make him into one. So that's my thing. That's what the Hurt Business is really all about. So beat up Apollo Crews, because there again, he's another guy that's got a whole lot of talent. I see a tag team brewing, between, Apollo Crews and someone that could take over the whole tag team division, Raw or SmackDown. I'm not going to even say which two it is, but it's a whole lot of money to be made, especially if I was on the booking committee. But that's another story.
Let me ask you this. Before we get into the break, you mentioned something. I just want to get your reaction to it. You said that Apollo Crews could be in a tag team that could take over Raw or SmackDown. Should they combine those titles? Should they unify them? I don't feel like there's enough tag teams to go around to have two sets of titles. You only have one set of women's. Why two sets of men's? You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? That's a good idea. That way you can defend on both shows. That way, your bank account is going to go up. Your downside, you got to meet that downside. So it's a whole lot of upside to combining it into one, from my perspective. So as well as to be able to bounce around from both shows, to and it wouldn't be like I'm coming to this show to make these guys look bad or anything. I'm going to that show to. It wouldn't be about that. It will be only about defending the tag team championship, and where are the best tag teams, wherever they are. That's where we're gonna go on that night. So I love it. I love the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just something that needs to happen. We don't need two sets of tag titles. And personally, I don't think we need a universal in WWE, but I get why. I get why there's that one. There's a lot of guys on top who could, bounce between those main event spots. But as far as the tag titles go, unification, not a bad idea. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do at Reality of Wrestling, man. We try to come up with, a scheme, a game plan. And then we try to go out there and execute that game plan. And if you do that, man, 9 times out of 10, you might come up a winner if you do it right. But I know we got to take a quick break here, man. Back to the Clash, man. What intrigues you most about that night? I mean, we know the Hurt Business is going to do what they do, but what intrigues you most about, the Clash?
I'll tell you, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Jeff Hardy, no matter how long he's in the business, he's always going to find a ladder. And every time he finds it, he does something spectacular. And maybe it takes a couple matches off his career, maybe a couple bumps on the bump card are used in those ladder matches, but he always does it incredibly. I mean, think about the iconic moments. We can go all the way back to WrestleMania 2000, where he does the swanton off a 20-foot ladder through Bubba Ray Dudley, laying below in the Anaheim Pond. You can go all the way to WrestleMania 17 the following year, where he gets speared by Edge off of the ladder while holding on to the tag titles. I remember one time he dropped a swanton through a ladder. I think it was on, I can't remember who that was on. Maybe it was on Christian. I can't remember.
I do remember that, man. I hated that bump because it looked like it was when the ladder was on the ring and it was on the barrier.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. That was like the hardest bump I think I ever seen someone take, because I don't know if you guys know, but those ladders are just ladders you go to Home Depot and pick up, you know, or they'll build the biggest ladder you possibly can find. Those are the ones that trip me out. I go, wait a minute. They do not make a ladder that big. What are you talking about here? But those matches do intrigue, especially now with the monitors in there. You're gonna feel like the fans are in the arena with you. The way it's set up in Thunderdome, you definitely will, have that moment to where you want to go up and just do something crazy. Not me personally. I've never been one of those guys.
You're not a ladder guy.
No, second run guy, you know what I mean? But these guys, I mean, AJ definitely going to throw caution to the wind. Sami Zayn is, I've never really seen Sami go out and do a lot of crazy bumps, but he did used to do that one dive through the two, the turnbuckles there. And man, that used to always scare me, man, because you're that close. It's like jumping. Lion jumping through the firing hoop or something like that. It's just something that I'm like, man, your knee's gonna scrape or something, you know what I mean? But we're gonna get a chance to see exactly what Sami Zayn brings to the table. One thing I do like about Sami, man, is he's a great entertainer. He makes you not like him. And now, like I say, with the beard and the hat and that, he's ready to go to war.
As a bait in about quarantine time, you know what I mean? From March to now.
Exactly. But I do like that trio right there. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how the thing play out.
I mean, it's for the Intercontinental title, and Sammy's been saying, I'm the real Intercontinental champion. Jeff's saying, well, I'm the real Intercontinental champion. AJ has a claim to it, too. So I just love it. It gives me that throwback to WrestleMania 10. Right? Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, the two Intercontinental championships above the ladder. Who's going to get it down? I hope they use two. I hope there are two belts up there because he had his and Jeff had his.
I don't, me personally, man, I don't look at it that way. All right. Just because I was in WCW at that time. I wasn't thinking about that match and those guys. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I mean?
What's the quintessential WCW ladder match?
Man, I don't know. I do know this. I wasn't in it. Shoot. What are you thinking, man? I wanted to stay as far away from the ladder as I possibly could, man. I think the biggest, like street fight I ever had was like with the Nasties, and it was like the hardest bump was taking the mustard spot.
Wasn't that on concrete though? Under it, like what? Didn't you fall on concrete, or was it not? Where you did
when I did the mustard?
Yeah.
No, I didn't fall on concrete, but the mustard barrel was so big, he almost broke my neck with it.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
It broke and it went everywhere, and I'm like, man, do you know how heavy that thing is? I'm like, come on here, but knobs, sags. It just was part of the game.
Did you ever have to do anything? Like, I know you said you weren't like a big spot guy, but did you ever have to do anything to where you had to go to the outside and there wasn't any padding there?
No.
There wasn't a mat? No?
No, I never did any of those spots.
You're such a hypocrite. You know why? You're a hypocrite.
Why you say that, man?
Because when we had to move all the production in for Reality of Wrestling the other weekend, when it was raining outside, the mats were soaking wet. So I said, well, they're not going to have the mats on the outside. They can't do anything to the outside. And you're like, the hell they can't.
I knew you was gonna bring that up. I knew it, man. I swear I knew you was gonna bring that up. No, man. It's
Oh,
it's different with these young guys now, man. They want to jump off something. They don't care if it's any pad there or anything. I just said I never did it. I didn't do it, but I was smart enough not to do it too, man. I remember
funny.
one time we was working at a show and we didn't have a wrestling ring and they had a boxing ring. And you know, the boxing ring is really, really hard. It's like being on concrete in a certain, it has to be because the guys have to have good footing. It can't be any bouncing or anything like that. And I remember Ahmed Johnson was on that show and he wanted to go out and try the ring out for the boys, you know, test it. And he went out and did like a big power bomb or something. And I took one and almost broke his back. Man, I did nothing but rolls. I didn't take a bump that night, man. You don't want to get hurt doing this thing, man. I mean, that's the one thing about the business. I see these young guys, man, they could do anything in the world. And I say, man, if you can, you know, take that and know how to use it, you know, you can really, you know, longevity is what you're thinking about. And if I could get that into their head, opposed to them thinking I'm just crazy, you know, maybe, you know, it'll work out for them because like I said, we see some of the most amazing superstars in the business today. Two of them going to be main centered, and that's Uso versus the man Roman. You know, I'm looking forward to that match more than anything because a lot of people don't know it. The Usos, you know, finishing school was Reality of Wrestling. Those two guys came out, Jimmy and Jay, and I got a chance to put my hands on them for a minute, and after a year or so, maybe less than that, I go, man, you guys ready to go? Y'all got to get out of here because it was just that good. They came up so quick, and now to see, you know, one getting a break more than anything, getting a shot at being in that position just for a minute, and that's the part for me that stands out more than anything because Jay, you know, he could have kind of like, you know, washed out, you know, when you ain't got your brother there backing you up, you know, when the tag team thing totally breaks down. But now we're getting a chance to see Jay go out and entertain, perform by himself without a net. And he's been doing a hell of a job. So I just want to say, man, congratulations on getting a break. You know, a chance at being in the spotlight with the guy just one time, because that's what wrestling is truly all about. Now it's all about rising to the occasion and going out there and doing something special. And I know when I wrestled my brother, I always thought that was the best time, you know, in the ring for me because we knew each other, you know, like the back of our hands. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we thought about this for years, you know, and to actually get a chance to go out here and do it together, not even imagining something like this would ever come to fruition, man. Jay is in a position right now to where I know he's at home going, man, I can't believe this. Sunday, I'm finna go out here and do my oos, and it's all family thing. Can you imagine how many Samoans gonna be watching this match?
All of them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. It's gonna be a party, man. It's gonna be a celebration in so many different ways. Even though, you know, we've had so many Samoan wrestlers come through the business and they all done so well, this is like a moment, you know, for the family to actually, you know, rejoice and you know, just watch their boys out there do their thing. So I'm looking forward to that match, I think, more than any other match on the card.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see a book, and I want to talk more about it. We got to take a break, so send us to break real quick, Book.
Hey guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.